The same thing with the Lore Makers, the Lore Makers Guide to the Galaxy. STL Youngblood does an amazing series of videos. Absolutely fantastic. That's why I gave him MVP. I pick the MVPs every week. Well, now that Tyler's on, we let Tyler pick MVPs. But up until 2 weeks ago, I picked every MVP for the last however many years. So what he does is fantastic. And eventually, we'll absolutely do a Wonderful World. If he's watching, wait for the call. It'll happen eventually. But with Lore Makers, the thing is, these are the creators. These are the people who sat there and had the ideas, and they're sharing that idea with you in a way that only they can have. We don't write anything down. They're not reading the lore. They're not reading their notes. It is the parts. They're not going to have everything. We're STL Young, but he's going to read all the lore and everything. He's going to have everything that's been published. But what they're going to have is the parts that resonate most with them. Those are the parts that you can bet are going to be followed up on. If the lore maker sat there and they said something, there's a pretty good chance that that's a thread that's going to get followed up on. And if there's a part of the lore that they didn't cover, well, that was probably maybe that was something they couldn't talk about. Maybe that was a little flowery thing they did, but it's probably not going to turn into anything. We don't know. But I thought it was compelling to see it from their minds, from their perspectives, to see the things that stand out to them, to hear the reasons they would do something, the reasons they didn't choose to do something with a particular system, and that's the kind of thing that only our lore makers can do. So, so that had a value. That had a value to me. Let me pull my thing up. Shipshape. Shipshape used to be, when I had the. Excuse me, sorry.
Yeah, take it.
It's the human body, ladies and gentlemen.
It's gassy time.
So, Shipshape, when I originally created Shipshape, it was supposed to be what it is now. It didn't turn out that way because it was one of those things I couldn't give a whole lot of time for. We brought Lisa Ohanian in, and she did it, and I'd work with her, and we
cool.
tried. It was fine.
Very cool. Yeah.
But when she left, it presented me an opportunity to bring Shipshape back to the thing that I originally wanted it to be, which was the developers, not a talking head, not somebody talking about style guides or anything like that. It's we sit down with the developer, with the people who are making the spaceships, and we talk about the process of making the spaceship, and that's what Shipshape's back to being. It doesn't happen as regularly. Mm-hmm. Because that's the problem. When you sit there and you say this has to happen every single week, then you make compromises. You have to, because something has to give. If you're not willing to not do it every single week, then something else has to give, and eventually everything will give until the quality does. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened with Shipshape before. So now we do Shipshapes when we have something. Josh Coons came in town. He showed up in our office Monday morning at 10 a.m. and at 10:05 I was on his ass like stink on poop. I'm like, dude, you're working on the Herald. You gotta get me in. I need 15 minutes of your time to sit there. And we did it. So we have a Shipshape segment on the Herald that's coming, not next week but the week after.
Awesome.
Probably the week after. But that's in the can. So yeah, it's. I find that you do the things when you have the things to do. When you try to force them to do it this every week or that every week and whatnot, then you're forced to make too many compromises. Development is too fickle. Development is too crazy to try to schedule, to try to pin into any one box and whatnot. So I've been chasing. That goes back to the Sean Tracy thing. I've been chasing Sean Tracy down for a particular segment for 4 weeks, and every single week it's like, yeah, man, we'll do it on this day, and we schedule it, and I put the sticky note up on the schedule, and then I go, and the day of it's like, no, I can't do it. And it's like, no problem. I go in, I crush the thing up, and whatnot, and then we try it again. We try it again the next week. And again, it was supposed to be again today. We were supposed to do it again, and it just can't. It just can't.
It breaks your heart from week to week.
Yeah, it doesn't break my heart because I know the reason he can't do it is because he's making this game awesome, and because and that's it's important. It's
priorities.
There's nothing greater in game development than prioritization. There just isn't. It's more important than talent. It's more important than skill. It's more important than perseverance because it's when they say work smarter, not harder.
Right.
You can work as hard as anybody in the entire world, but if you're not prioritizing it correctly, you're wasting your time. You're wasting our time. You're wasting everybody's time. So prioritization is at the top. So we are constantly flipping and flopping and rearranging, and there are times where I have to run and be like, hey, Ashley, we need to get the lights set up. We're filming in 5 minutes. Like what? He says it's ready now, so we gotta do it now. I thought we were doing it till 3:30.
No.
He's ready now, dude. He's ready now. We're doing it now. Kind of thing. So it's awesome, and it's frustrating, and it's amazing, and it's discouraging, and it's everything. It's every emotion there is, and it's one. And this has been the longest answer to what do I like about my job. It's pretty much everything. It's
fantastic.
I get to make stuff.
It's the greatest answer.
We're still on the first question? What?
Yeah, we're still on the first question.
Hey, I got a question for you. On the 30-second videos that you guys picked to highlight, what are your criteria for picking those? What are you looking for?
I am Tyler is now in charge of that, but Tyler's been given the marching orders, from me and whatnot. I am looking for the same thing I'm looking for in everything else, which is something more than the norm. If I thought I was doing what anybody else was doing at any given time, I'd weep. I don't want to be everybody else. I don't want to be anybody else. I want to be me. So and that extends to everything I do. That extends to the things that I look for with somebody. If somebody submits a video, and oh look, I got 4 kills in 30 seconds. That's certainly impressive. I can't do that. I'm a terrible pilot. I can't do it. But the problem is, that's good, but it's not great. It's not that thing I can't see anywhere else. It's trying to figure the guy who wall glitches out and gets to the places in ArcCorp that 99% of other citizens never see. Do something that 99% of people can't see. That works. I'm walking around ArcCorp, and here I am. Here's a video of me inside Dumpers Depot. That's what anybody else can do. So that's not going to get my attention. The fly a race in a super fast time. Great, impressive, whatever. Fly a race in a super fast time backwards. Better. Fly a race in a super fast time backwards in a Starfarer. Now you've got my attention, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. It's go that extra step to do the things that other people aren't doing. That's the easiest way to get my attention about anything. And it's not. I don't know if it's fair. I don't know if it's.
I was just going to ask you if you thought that.
It doesn't. I don't believe in fairness.
Okay.
I don't believe in participation awards. I don't believe that everybody has to get everything. I believe there are winners and losers. That's me. I'm the community manager you got stuck with. Sorry, guys. I'm not going to not be who I am. I'm not gonna change. It's people. There's a reason. And this is an important thing. I think most people probably have never realized. I don't know why they do. When people hire into CIG, if they've been backers before, they create new accounts. There's always a -CIG, a new account, whatnot. My account, the one that I post from every day, the one that I gold post from, everything, is my same account. It's my same backer account. And when I hired in, they wanted me to do another one, and I flat out refused. Day one. Hey, I'm glad to be here. Oh my God, it's so great for having. Yeah, I'm going to check it out. No, I won't do it. So I'm not going to do it. And it wasn't a problem. You're curious first. I'm like, why? And he goes, because I'm not going to change. I'm not a different person now that I work here. I stand behind every post I've ever made. I stand behind every word I've ever said. That is me. And when I'm here, I'm not going to be your typical. I think we all know I'm not your typical community manager. I'm sitting here, I'm swearing, you have to make fun of Tyler. I mean, it's Tyler. It's Tyler. How do you not?
He's a funny guy.
So it just makes it so easy. It just makes it. I don't. It feels wrong not to.
Tyler.
It feels dishonest not to make fun of him. So, and I have to be honest. It's I have to be who I am when I. So I'm the guy who goes on the live stream the other day and tells people to unplug from Star Citizen. Take a break. What do you think? People are like, wait, because I think that's what's best for you. If you think that's what's best for you, I think that's what's best for you. If you don't think you need a break, you don't need a break. I'm not going to tell you what the hell to do. But it's saying I'm not. I'm always going to be me. So when people, I want people to see that why I pledged video. That I made back in the day when I pledged.
It's a great video.
Yeah, I didn't do it so Chris Roberts had to answer to me. I didn't do it so I was the boss so I could tell them how to make a video game. I did it because Chris Roberts came out there and said, no developer will let me make the game I want to make. I'm going to you guys so that you guys will help me make the game I want to make. I being Chris Roberts in this industry, in this example. So yeah, it's like I'm here to let Chris Roberts make the game he wants to make. He doesn't always make the decisions I agree with. He doesn't have to. It's not part of the job. It's not part of the requirement. I can disagree with something and not. It'd be like, his way might be better. I don't know. I don't think it is. Maybe in this particular case, but he's been right more times than not. So I got to give him the benefit of the doubt. And we're talking about a minuscule case. Most of one of the reasons I'm so happy being here is because so much of the time it's like I think I come into a room like, yeah, this is the way I think to do something, and then Chris goes, well, actually, the way that we're going to do it is this, and then let me tell you why, and then he sits there and he tells you why, and you just slowly realize I thought I was smart. I've gone through my entire life thinking I was smart and thinking I knew what I was doing, but Chris is here talking to me. And he's not talking to me like the way that I talk to Tyler. He's showing me respect. Yeah. He's showing me kindness. And he's just making me realize I'm a dumb. I'm such a dumb, and I thought I knew better. And he's done enough in life to earn the benefit of the doubt.
I have to say that was a pivotal moment at the Bar Citizen event in LA. And meeting Chris Roberts, just how you described it, he is so respectful. People he doesn't even know, and we're all gathered around him just hanging off of every last word, and he's so humble about it and so willing to... I don't think he sat down one time while he was there. I think he stood and he took everybody's questions and he would engage, and it wasn't like, I've said this a million times here, I'm saying it again, he will just keep going. He can see, I think, that passion in the backers. And he's also so fueled. Like, he's just got this endless reserve that you feel when you're around him. It's amazing to be that close to something that's... And to feel that welcome into that space.
I'll tell you the story of the first time I met Chris Roberts. I was at the Next Great Starship finale. They shot it at the YouTube space in LA. And I drove out to be a studio audience member. And I was there, and they shot the whole thing. And afterwards, and I was there by myself. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell anybody. The first episode of Around the Verse hadn't aired yet. Nobody knew who Disco Lando was. Most people thought I was a black guy. I wasn't telling them. I was just there. I was by myself. I was there with a real life friend, and he wanted to tell people, "Hey, everyone, this is Disco Lando." I'm like, "Don't fucking tell anybody. This isn't my thing," kind of thing. And I'm there, and eventually, and Chris, after the thing, Chris is talking to people, and I just kind of meander over, and I kind of work into the semicircle.
Hey, Chris.
I'm kind of working myself into the semicircle of people that are around Chris Roberts, and he's talking about the thruster system, and how the realistic thruster system does all these calculations so it knows how to put this much thrust. And he starts looking right at me. And he's talking to me. He's talking to me about the thruster, and I'm nodding. I'm like, wow. I'm like, yes, that thing you said makes sense. That absolutely sounds like science, and I know what you mean. And I'm just talking this, and then I ask a follow-up question. He answers. We're having this whole conversation. And we're just having this conversation, and I haven't told him, who I was or anything. And he's having this conversation. He's talking about this. At the end, at some point, he breaks and he goes, "So, he goes, what's your names?" And there's somebody else. He goes, "I'm Peter." And somebody goes, "I'm Josh." And I said, "Hey, I'm Jared." So I goes, "Jared, well, it's very nice to meet you." And he goes, "What?" He goes, "What are your game names?" And I'm like, "Shit." And he goes, "I'm this person. I'm this person." And I went, I'm Disco Lando." And he goes, "What?" He goes, I'm Disco Lando." And he's been talking to me for like 40 minutes at this point. And he looks at me and he goes, "I've been talking to Disco Lando for 40 minutes and you didn't tell me." And he like grabs me and gives me a hug. And then he goes on for like another 20 minutes about the videos. And I'm like,
Yeah.
does he know who I am?
Yeah.
This is stupid. You have better things to do than know who I am.
Yeah.
So that was the first time. And then just 2 weeks later, I was in the office to do the filming for the very first episode of Around the Verse, which we did a fan interview, and I was in an interview there. And I walk in, and Chris walks past, and then he comes back and goes, "Hi, Jared, how you doing?" And I'm like, "Why the hell do you remember my name?" It's like he's an absolute force of nature, and he's amazing, and he's still the only person in the entire company that calls me Jared. Everybody else that works there either calls me Disco or Lando. He's the only person there that calls me Jared.
He's consistent about that.
And he's like I live with Toast. I call Toast Toast. I've never called Toast by whatever his real name is in my life.
What did Toast just say? We didn't hear him.
I don't know. He said whatever Toast say. He said he was consistent. He said Chris is consistent.
Consistent. Okay. Yeah.
Calls me by my first name.
Yeah.
Pretty much everybody else.
Yeah. Chris calls him by his first name, and it's wrong every time he does it. And I've actually
not even my name.
Yeah, I've actually corrected Chris twice.
Whoops.
The first time he thought it was funny, and the second time he thought I was pushing it. So.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, that's it's no, he's it's like I said, he's
it's pretty.
Just working here is such a it's an amazing experience, and it's not for everybody. No job in the world is. It's hard. It's fast. It's long. It changes on a dime. I mean, it is all those stories of the UFOs that go. That is what working for Chris is like. You think you're going one direction, and before you know it, you're going in another direction. Like, when did we start going in this direction? Because we just went in that direction. What happened to that direction? We passed it. When? Just now. When will we be going this direction? Soon. You know, it's hard. It can be hard to keep up with. I've seen people come. I've seen people go. You know, it's not for everybody. But it's if you're a person who loves to work, if you're a person who loves quality, and who is more concerned with the best result possible than doing that thing we said we were going to do. And that's one of the things that my absolute favorite part about working here is that we're not afraid of the better idea. Is that at any point we've been working on this thing for 3 days, we've been working on this thing for 3 weeks, we've been working on this thing for 3 months. Somebody goes, "Wow, you know what would have been the better thing to do if we had done this?" Everything stops. It goes,
"Yeah.
Wait, that is the better idea." "Yeah, isn't it?" "Yeah, well, why didn't you have it then?" Because you know we didn't know enough to have this idea then. Only by going on this other track did we learn enough to have the better idea. You know, you have to be wrong sometimes for 3 months before you have the right idea. It's like we have the right idea. And for other places, like, "Oh, we've spent too much time, we spent too much money, we've spent too much manpower. This is the thing we're doing." Chris is like, "But that's not the better idea.
Yeah.
This is the better idea.
Right.
Can we make this happen?" "Yes." "Can we make this happen by the time that we need it?" If we stay up and we work hard and we focus and we do it, it's possible to do it. Yes.
Yep.
And I adore that. It's my absolute favorite thing about being here. It's not for everybody. It's why some people come and some people go and whatnot. But doesn't mean they're bad people. Doesn't mean we're bad people. I mean, I'm a bad person, but for other reasons. It just means that not all things are for all people.
Yeah.
But if this is a thing for you, oh my goodness, it's so much fun.
Seems to be working. Guys,
Oh, yeah, we're
guys are
up
putting
it.
out a great product, so everybody's
Oh,
happy with it.
we're getting there. This stuff. This is going to be the year we remember.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody's kind of got butterflies in their stomach right now where we're at, and I'm very excited about where we're heading, and I'm so comfortable and happy to be right here with the butterflies and just keep moving forward, keep inching along, and it's everything. It's exciting.
I feel like we're so close to so much, just like butterflies, just the sky being
this
full
is
of
the
butterflies
year.
really soon
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, this is the. I mean, we go over it a bit in the Aaron interview we just did and whatnot. It's like most people. We just heard out. What was the game we just? Was the game we just heard this announcement for? Not Uncharted 4. Some new game they just announced that it was like this week. There was a brand new sequel, the third or the fourth game in a series. I can't remember what it is, but most people are.
Somebody in chat will come up with it.
Yeah, some people are used to. Oh, there's no such thing as Fallout 4. Fallout 4 doesn't exist. Fallout 4 isn't in anybody's mind. And then Bethesda comes out and goes, "Yeah, Fallout 4 is coming out in 6 months." That's what people are used to. They're used to Fallout 4 exists, and then it's out in their hands a couple months later.
Were you thinking of Doom? That's what chat's wondering.
No.
Not
This
Doom.
is a thing. Is a thing.
No.
I can't remember what it is, but I feel like it's the fourth game in a series, but I don't know. It might. That's not Gears either, because we knew Gears was coming for a while. At least I did anyway. But Blizzard worked on
Gears.
Blizzard worked on the MMO, whatever it was called.
World of Warcraft.
No, not World of Warcraft. The one they just scrapped it became Overwatch. Titan. Blizzard worked on Titan for 8 years. For 8 years without saying anything more than its codename is Titan. And then after 8 years, one of the biggest video game developers that are around, maker of the most successful MMO in the world, couldn't make the MMO work the way they wanted to. It's like yeah, it's just not what we want. So they scrap it, they turn gears, and they crank out Overwatch. Like this. But most places work on these games for so long before anybody ever hears about them. And then you hear about them, and then so everybody thinks these development cycles are so short and whatnot. We did it backwards. We announced it when it was an overblown tech demo that Chris and Forrest and Sean Tracy worked on. 3 people, working across the internet for a little over half a year, working on a demo. Like, okay, here's a demo just to make sure the engine could do what they wanted it to do. And then like, okay, we've got this idea of a game, and now we want your help making it. And so most people don't see the genesis of a AAA game that early. So now that we're 12, 13, 14, 15, yes, I count on my fingers. I'm not math. Now that we're only 3.5 years.
I'm not math.
Nobody's ever looked at Jared Huckaby and said that guy's math. So we're only 3.5 years since the original Kickstarter, and in that time, like, the company was 8 people, and half of them were volunteers. We had to build the Austin office, we had to build the LA office, we had to build the UK office, we had to build the Germany office. We had to build the company.
Yep.
At the same time we were starting development of the game. Whereas a company like Blizzard, already existed before they started work. It existed for 20 years before they started on Titan, not 15 years.
On top of sharing that evolution with the community.
Yeah,
so it's not like you can close doors and go like it's messy back here. It's the doors are open and here's a progression. That's so amazing.
Yeah, it was 7-8 years for Titan, Pascal. Because they were talking about it. I was there when Blizzard launched. And people were already joking about what the next MMO was going to be, so because they didn't expect WoW to be as big as it was. So it's only recently that we are up to 100%. We are up to speed. All the studios are firing. All the places, people are in the places they need to be, and you see it in the rate at which we're cranking out content now. I mean, it's just and 2.4, is not going to have everything that some people who reported things incorrectly thought it was going to be, but 2.4 is going to have quite a bit, mostly built under the hood than over the hood, really. But we are cranking out so much stuff now because now we are at 100%, and that's why we've pulled back from from our public appearances, from our PAX East, from our PAX South, stuff like that. So we're not
Focus
doing
on
big
getting the
pres-
game.
It's because
developed.
now everything's firing, so it's like this train doesn't stop. And we've worked so hard to get to this point where everything is firing. There's no derailing it. It's Squadron 42 or bust. It's Star Citizen or bust.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well,
That's what
I
I
want to
said.
be aware of some time here. You've given us over an hour of your time, and we're happy to keep going, but I don't want to hold your evening up. If so, I think
It's your call. If you're willing to go, we're willing to keep going.
Yeah. What you got? You want to take some questions from the fans?
Sure.
Yeah.
Anybody but, hold on, there's one person who's been really annoying in chat
See,
that I don't want to take. Hold on, don't spoil it.
do we have to ban
it's-
Eric here also?
Yes, no, it's Captain
Xylo, I got your back.
Zolo.
I got you.
Captain Zolo. We can't take any questions from Captain
We can be
Zolo.
quiet about Captain Xylo no longer. He's such a dear person.
No.
Let me see if I can find
Wait,
any
wait.
questions here real quick.
When the book of Star Citizen is written, the romance between Tyler and Jared will be
Oh.
a greater romance than Twilight. Did
Well,
you block
this
me
is-
on Twitch? I don't know. I
You
don't
guys
block anybody on
have
Twitch. I don't
questions
even look at Twitch.
Did somebody ask you that? Hey, everybody, by the way, out there in chat world, thank you so much for stopping by for this interview. Please feel free to ask questions while we've got him here, Jared Huckaby.
Yeah. Is there a Captain Voltron? I would totally
Is
answer
there?
questions from. Oh, Captain Zoltan. That's not the same. If there's a person named Captain Voltron, you get a easy pass.
Yeah.
Easy pass.
Remember that cartoon? That was amazing.
The new cartoon's coming out on Netflix. Netflix has a new Voltron
What?
cartoon. Yeah, they've already got a trailer
A
for it.
remake of it?
It's a whole new
Writing this down.
Voltron
What?
from Netflix.
I missed the screen. Okay, Voltron.
Oh, here's a good question. If you could make your own Star Citizen merchandise, what would it be?
I do.
All the time.
I'm involved in the Star Citizen merchandise. Now, the Star Citizen merchandise team is Alexis and Sandy, for the most part. They come up with the ideas. And they do the things, and then I help out here and there. But it's mostly the tireless work of Sandy and Alexis. If I could make any merchandise, well, the problem is we're in the process of making it. So if I answer the question, I either answer the question truthfully and
Lie to us.
and get myself in trouble with Alexis, or I could lie to you.
Don't do that.
It's a Tyler Witkin plushie that I could take to bed,
Oh. Won't Toast be jealous?
and I won't tell you whether I'm lying or not. No, what? No, no. Toast and
The
I are
silent
men.
partner
No,
over
no. Toast and I are men. You want to
Yes.
know how much men Toast and I were? Toast got his promotion to junior counsel 3 weeks ago, and I
Okay.
found out about it yesterday.
So you don't
And I
discuss
found out,
anything.
and I found out about it yesterday, not because he said it, but because I overheard somebody else talking about it. And I'm like, dude, you got promoted? Yeah. Congratulations. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're men. We're old men. We're cut from an old cloth.
Will the prospector be prioritized or delivered after launch? What?
Well, without knowing when launches, I can't answer that question.
Good call.
Yeah,
Games like Guild
yeah,
Wars 2.
Yeah, when questions, guys.
The big Benny skin, is that definitely going to be something that's going to be available sometime down the road?
Ew.
Do you think?
There are, at present, no plans to do the Big Benny skin. Now, that's not the same as saying tomorrow we won't go in and someone say, hey, we should actually do that Big Benny skin. Okay. It just means that right now, there's no plans to do the Big Benny skin.
It sounds like you guys had kind of played around with it a little bit on one of the shows in the last week or two. I remember hearing, not a definite yes, we're going to, but mentioning that everybody is asking for it and maybe something like that.
Well, it's just, okay, I don't like to equivocate. I'm not a person who equivocates. So there's a reason I choose those words very carefully. At this time, there are no plans to do it.
Okay.
It's because I don't like saying, oh, we don't know if we're going to do it or not do it, anything, which is technically true. I don't know. But what I can tell you that's even better than I don't know is that at this time, there have been no plans set to make it. It's the best. That's the best. It's the best I can do. Other than that, it's like I said, we're not afraid of the better idea. If somebody comes up with some amazing way to make it work, to make it easy to fit it into the pipeline, to I don't know. It's just right now. It was at Tuesday afternoon at 4:00, the week of April Fools. We had no April Fools gag. We were not going to do an April Fools gag. We were just like, we're all so busy. We just don't have time. We don't have anything that moves the needle, you know. Mm-hmm. And at 4:01, I walked into Ben's office and I said, I've got this really shitty idea. And I'm here. And I walked in and I said, I'm here so that you can tell me it's dumb and we won't do it. And he said, what? And I said, what about an entire Big Benny's theme delivery career? Everybody keeps asking for when the next profession design doc is. What if we just troll them with food delivery and we do the whole Big Benny thing and we get a costume and all that stuff like that? And he goes, all right, I like it. Do it. And I went, shit. Mm-hmm. And so the next 70 hours was nonstop calling in favors, Jeremiah, Lee, Elwin, Batchelor, Jr., and Gage, which is why the three of them are dancing with the community team in our video. Just going to the supervisors. I'm like, I need like 2 hours of his time, and I need one. I was like, you can't have 2 hours of his time. And going back to him, like, will you please stay with me after hours and do this because you're a fan and because you want this to happen? And they worked after hours. Jeremiah and Elwin and Gage stayed after hours, and they worked on the ship, and they worked on the costume, and they worked on the videos with me, and it was all done after hours because they love this community as much as anything else. So that was a very rough job.
Clear, yeah, that's evident. I mean, yes. Week after week, we're seeing the same people, we're seeing the same devotion and passion and effort. So that speaks a lot to how everybody feels about what they're doing. Disco, I don't know if there's a bunch of questions that have been rolling through chat. I don't know if you can just poke there and see if anything strikes your fancy. I'd hate to, there's a lot of great questions here, so if you see anything.
Somebody asked, a frequent response from friends I attempt to recruit in Star Citizen is it's pay to win. How do I best respond to this? I have people ask me that, and I say there is no win. That's my answer. There's no max level or best gear to get.
Well, the answer I could tell them is that there's no amount of money I can spend that I have access. We have developer accounts. I have a developer account. I don't use it. I use my original account. But I have an account that we created. On the developer accounts, we can jump in with any ship that's available, with any loadout, with any weapon and whatnot. I jump in there. I got the best ships available. I got the best weapons. I get my ass handed to me. No amount of spending money in the world is going to make you not suck. I suck, regardless of how much money I spend, regardless of how much crap I put on my account. The answer to pay the win is pay the money, jump in the game, tell me if you win. Mm-hmm. It's not going to happen. That's not how that works. It's all things have to be equal. All things have to be equal for pay to win to truly exist, and it just never is. There's too many variables. Plus, I have seen people fly auroras. Nobody in test, but I've seen other people fly auroras with skill and with determination and do these amazing things, and I'm like, how are you doing that? And it's like you make it look so easy, and
they're just like,
time. It's look at Toast is when Toast and Ben when they play the Wing Commander. People are like, hey Lando, you should play Wing Commander. I'm like, nope, because I get on there. It's like there's no about it. There's no amount of pay that's going to make you win. Now, does it get you things faster? Yes. Nobody's hiding that. from the very beginning, Chris has said, the intention of how we're going to fund the game and whatnot is to we're always going to sell things that, so if you're the father of 3 and you work hard and you don't have time to spend, 12 hours in the game every single day, but you want to explore certain aspects of the game, we're going to let you pay a certain amount of money, and you're going to get things faster. Getting things faster is not pay to win unless the game to you is a race. Now, if the game to you is a race, if the game is, I just want everything, I want to own everything in Star Citizen, if that is your win condition,
playing it a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, if that is your win condition, then yes, I could see that being pay to win. But that's one very narrow, very specific, very individual win condition. If my win condition is to explore the galaxy and discover a jump point, and name it, so every time somebody goes from this system to this system, they have to go through Disco's hole, that's my win condition. I gave that up when I hired in. I'm done in the interview. I'm like, do I get to name a jump point if I discover it? Nope. So if I accept this job, there'll never be a Disco's hole. And they're like, we will hire you just to prevent a Disco's hole. And I went, all right, money's not going to help that. It's what is maybe the key to discovering that jump point. The carrot's too big to go through.
Your hole.
Your hole's too small for the carrot to go through.
It's too small. Yeah, it's not going to fit.
Spending all that money on the carrot doesn't help you do it. You have to have a very specific, very narrow, very individual definition of what win is in order for pay to win to apply. In the 99% of all other scenarios, it doesn't apply. So, I don't generally engage in that argument. I can't tell somebody else what their personal win condition should be. You have to determine what your own win condition for Star Citizen is, and if there's a way to buy things to make that happen, then yes. But chances are, in 99.999% of individual conditions, the money is not going to get you there. It may help, just like in real life, money helps, but it doesn't get you there. Otherwise, every spoiled brat in the world would be a movie star.
That's true. There's some people in chat here. Lando 3693 is very concerned about Tyler's future and the fact that you bully him so much. Is that gonna continue?
I have.
And does he deserve it?
Yes.
I think it's.
Does he really?
Isn't it a 3-year hazing period?
Okay. Let me. Tyler, are you still in chat? I haven't seen you chat in a while. Are you still here?
He's been really upset, Disco. He's sent out a couple of personal messages to some folks. We're all talking about it. He's upset, but I think he's still around. Could you come out, Dilo?
No. When I don't like someone, they don't exist. It's that simple. It's when I meet somebody and I'm like, that's not somebody I want to associate with. That's not somebody that I appreciate. That's not somebody that I have any interest in spending my time with. I don't do it.
Are you able to separate that with, let's say somebody's making the most epic whatever Star Citizen. Let's say they've made this amazing model of one of the ships and it's the best that anybody's ever done, but you personally don't care for them in any way, shape, or form. Can you separate your dislike for the person with what content they're bringing forward?
Yeah, because I don't know most Star Citizens. I don't know most Star Citizens at an individual level enough to have an opinion about what type of person they are. So that's never been an issue. I don't imagine that would ever be an issue because it's just I don't get to spend enough time with people in a one-on-one setting to form any kind of lasting personal opinion about them. What you see, you guys are streamers and you already know it's what you see through the through the stream is not necessarily who a person truly is and whatnot. There's a measure of performance involved. So I don't judge people on that stuff. So that's not a situation that I've ever encountered. It's not a situation I anticipate to encounter. But going back to what I said, I give Tyler the crap that I give him to hide my true feelings for him, because I feel like if I were to show everybody how I truly feel for him, you'd think I was weak and fluttery and emotional and it just I have to be strong.
You are strong. You are strong
for him and for me,
for everyone,
and for
really.
the project. So
and I can tell you, a lot of people in chat want to give you a hug right now.
So
I want to give you a hug right now.
You can directly relate the amount of crap I give to somebody with the amount that I actually enjoy them.
I think.
Otherwise, is there anybody I don't enjoy? I don't. I forget they exist.
No, I know he's enjoying the job. He's told me as much. He's totally digging it. He's busy as hell, but he loves it.
The only exception to this is Tyler Whitkin.
To confuse you even more.
I think he still likes the job, so you've got to try harder or something.
Tyler's trolling us.
Yeah. I can't not be me. I promised myself I wouldn't change. I wouldn't get corporate. I wouldn't become some puppet. I wouldn't. That you would always know the things that are coming out of my mouth are genuine. You know, like I said, it's yes, I'm making fun of him. It's not that that's not genuine. It is genuine. I'm making fun of him because again, it is the way that I was raised through my messed up childhood to show affection. That's who I am.
Well, we're not gonna, that's your way.
Yeah. I think we already know that. That's cool.
See? Honestly, I would worry if I don't make fun of you.
That's good to know. I'm trying to find this question. We had a couple. Knight Rider. We know that procedural planets will have weather. Do you see Star Citizen having something similar in space, storms, etc.?
I have not been privy to any conversations about that. Most of the PU development happens at studios that I'm not at, so I miss a lot of the conversation about the PU, unfortunately. So I don't know the answer to that.
If someone is interested in working for CIG, what's the best way that they could go about?
CloudImperiumGames.com/jobs. Include a cover letter. This seems like such a simple, silly
It's a
thing,
lost art. It's a lost art.
But you cannot just send a resume.
Hey guys.
You cannot, like anything else, you cannot do the bare minimum. You cannot do what everybody else does and expect a result. The people that I hire, and I've hired a couple people in my time, it's all about that cover letter. I'll forgive gaps in their resume. Life happens. Oh, you weren't able to work for 3 years because your deadbeat brother and his infant child, had to move in and you had to take care of them. Whatever your personal life story is gaps in resumes are fine. I had 37 jobs. Do you think I ever filled out a resume that was truthful? You can't. I can't put 37 jobs on a resume. You'd never get hired. People are like, what the fuck is this guy doing? He's a psycho. So your resume is only part of it. Far more important than our resume is a cover letter. Mm-hmm. Tell me why you want to work here. Tell me why we should hire you. Explain it to us in a story, in 3 paragraphs, on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Give a cover letter. When you don't send a cover letter, it's like this person doesn't care. This person went to jobs.com and found 15 listings that said video game developer and just sent their resume out to 15 people. Include a cover letter that's about you and our company and why you would fit in our company with our project and why we would fit in your life. And that's another thing that people miss. People don't realize that interviews go 2 ways. We're not just seeing if you're going to be a fit here. I'm judging whether we're going to be a fit in your life. Because no employer wants to spend 3 months training, 3 months hiring, 3 months bringing you in, and then you're like, I'm just not enjoying it here, and then you leave.
Yeah.
It's like it's not just you convincing us that we should hire you. It's you have to convince us that we're right for you. Is you have to tell us enough about yourself, about your personality, about the things you like and the things you dislike for us to go, he's going to enjoy working here. He's not going to enjoy working here. And the cover letter is the first step to that.
Yep.
I got a news flash for
advice.
you. Test Squadron has just decided that they're going to name a jump hole after you. Disco's hole. So your dream is going to come true.
All right. I'll believe it when I see it. I hear a lot of things, man. I hear a lot of things.
So many promises. So many.
Well,
we
got it in writing right here. So just take screenshot.
I saw it. I took note of that.
I hear a lot of things.
What's behind your stare during RTV? What is that? What's happening in that head of yours?
Hello, darkness, my old friend. No. It depends on what's going on. It depends on the reason for the stare.
Sometimes he's just dumbfounded.
No. I'm never
really
dumb.
happen?
I'm never dumbfounded. It's. Do you remember the part? All right. If anybody's watched when Tyler and I were streaming, you'll notice it's very different than when Ben and I are streaming.
Yeah.
Very different than when Chris and I are streaming and whatnot. I like to be, again, this goes to everything. I like to be the thing that other people aren't. Whatever the missing piece is in the situation. So if I'm in a room with a bunch of clowns, Ben, that's like 3 clowns. If I'm in a room with a bunch of clowns, I'm the straight man. If I'm in the room with a bunch of straight men, I'm the clown.
Sure.
Just today, I walked up to Chris with that stupid Jar Jar Binks sucker thing, where the tongue is the sucker and it pops out and you have to make out with Jar Jar. Chris had never seen it, and I walked up to Chris in the middle of the thing. I was like, "Hey, Chris," he goes, "Would you like a treat from the last century?" And he's looking at me. He's like, "What?" And I showed it to him, and he just looked at it. And he's like, "What is that?" I went, "Pop!" And I stuck Jar Jar's candy tongue out at him. And he gave me a look that I've never seen before, that I will remember the rest of my life. It was a look that said, every decision involved in hiring you was wrong. And
we can't turn back now.
Yep. And I went back, and I went back, I'm like, Ben, yes, I got the look from Chris. Like this, and Ben's like, why? And he goes, because that's me. It's if you're the clown, I'm the straight man. If you're the straight man, I'm the clown. If we're all in the middle, I'm somewhere in the I'm the master of ceremonies kind of thing. So it's just, what was the question?
Something about Jar Jar Binks.
No, he didn't ask a question about Jar Jar Binks.
No,
What'd you ask, Stoutman?
I don't know.
Got to bring it around to your question. I don't know. What?
It doesn't matter.
I don't know. Yeah, but it's basically that.
Stare. It was the stare.
Oh,
I had to go into the stare.
Yeah. So what's the stare? So what the stare is it's when everybody else is being the clown. That's me representing the people who aren't entertained by it. It's because every question needs, or every sentence needs punctuation, is what it is. And sometimes the best punctuation to a joke or a gag is silence. You know, you say bazinga, you can say gotcha, whatever. But some I find that the best punctuation at the end to many jokes is just silence, to let it sink in, to let it percolate, and that's what I do. I'm an entertainer at heart.
Mm-hmm. You definitely do that. You keep us entertained.
Knight Rider's asking if single-colored beards will be a thing in Star Citizen. So I guess, is there going to be beard dye? That's what we need to know.
Star Citizen beard dye?
That's the only way you have one color in a beard.
Yeah, I honestly don't know the extent. Chris talked about a little bit about the character customization options that we want to pursue in that in the March subscriber edition RTV. But it's not there. We're just getting the clothing and stuff now. The reason we haven't gotten to the facial stuff yet is because we're developing the facial stuff for Squadron 42. It's basically when we get all these characters, when we get Mark Hamill to look like Mark Hamill, when we get Gary Oldman to look like Gary Oldman, when we get Gillian Anderson to look like... Once we figured out all the tricks to the trade of making the faces, that's when we're like, okay, now we can create an editor that uses all these tools that we're developing to make all these other things. Right. So we're just not there yet. So I don't imagine... I don't see any reason why this particularly silly question wouldn't come to pass. You should be able to color your beard in a variety of shades.
I'm concerned about this. I don't know what the plans are for women who cannot grow beards. What's in the works for those of us who don't have facial hair? I mean... Really?
I don't know. Forrest has been working on Gillian Anderson for a while.
Okay.
And
does she have a beard?
She does not.
You can always play a
Okay.
male character.
Well, okay. She doesn't have any hair at all.
Guys,
right
listen
now.
up. Listen up.
From what I've seen, she doesn't have any hair at all yet because the hair's being worked on by a different group. So I can't speak to the hair options for her. She may have a beard. I cannot at this time confirm.
This is great news for me.
Does not have.
I'm so jazzed right now. I might get the facial hair I've been longing for. So thank you. Thanks.
Yeah.
You finally want to be taken as a serious Star Citizen streamer. You have to have a beard, right?
That's.
I don't know what this beard thing is. Any day
I think Eric McKenton started it.
Any day of the week, I can show up completely clean shaven. So there will be a day I'll just show up and it'll be completely clean shaven, and then the beard will grow back in a week, and the beard will be back, and then I change my facial hair quite often. I don't know. I think I've just been too tired. I've just been too busy. I haven't bothered to get to do it. But I could go in the back and shave my beard tonight. In fact, maybe I will.
You want to take the time right now to do that? I mean, we've got nothing else going on. You feel like? Skip it. Yeah. Okay. Do you want to show us anything in your case? Any special item back there in your display case of glory? Something you might want to pull forward?
Yeah, what are some of your prized items? We like toys.
Well, this is a giant mess.
It's okay.
This
we can sort through it.
This mountain is a bunch of unopened packages from the last 3 months.
Maybe we should open some? I don't know. Is there stuff in there? Like more things to put in a case?
Oh yeah,
we'll help you.
Almost all this stuff goes in cases. That's why
we can help you organize.
Just haven't had the time. It's all a giant mess. I got that. This is one of my favorites. This is a knit Lando that somebody made for me. This was one of the very first fan gifts.
Someone who thought you were African American.
So, that brand new spaceship you've been waiting for is finally up for sale. That's great.
All right, what else you got? What's the thing that you cuddle up with when you go to sleep? Drugs? Okay, check.
More drugs.
All
What do I cuddle up with when I go to sleep?
Yeah.
Money. Cuddle up with money. I can't afford a pillow, so I just stack.
Sleep on money.
I stack a couple of these.
I'm not entirely sure what we're seeing here, everybody. I think there might be some mafia ties here, but
got one of these. This is the original Chris Roberts bobblehead.
Oh, that's cool. I've never seen that. Can you lift it up a little bit? That outfit.
Yeah, he's in the original Spaceman. Yep. He had an accident.
Oops.
Yep. It was a bad day in Dallas.
Ouch.
But too soon.
Very cool. No, it's okay.
He fell off a shelf. He fell off a shelf. Yeah, there's the.
That's where our money's going.
It's here because here's the back of his head. I have to glue it back on.
Just gotta glue that right back on there. Super glue.
Let's see. It's a Hello Kitty.
You have a Hello Kitty? Was that Dodgers?
Yep.
I've seen you wearing White Sox and Dodgers.
Yeah, the White Sox was from an adult league that I played in. It's got my name and number on the back. I'm not a fan of the White Sox. I enjoy the Dodgers.
Got it.
So it's just when you join a men's softball league, you don't always get to pick what team you're on. So, and the choices I had were the Giants and the White Sox. And I'm like, you're the White Sox.
Definitely.
Another weird
Sure.
Lando
I like
Mickey.
that. Okay.
Lando Mickey monstrosity. What happens when Lando Calrissian and Mickey Mouse jump in the pod together and they get transported?
Lando goes to Disneyland.
This is
The other Lando.
my power loader, and it's got Sarah Connor at the wheel. So it's an
That's
80s
so
power loader.
cool.
No Ripley, huh?
Again, 99% of all people in the world would put Ripley in there. I decided to go another James Cameron route. It's
Do you
just.
cook? Do you cook food? I wonder what your
before I
food
lived
would
here.
taste like.
I just haven't. I'm never here enough to do it. This was another fan gift. This was this is a my Lando pony.
Oh my God! You just made some people seriously happy in chat by showing that.
My Lando
Wow.
pony.
I had no idea how huge it was, but My Little Pony is really quite a thing.
I wouldn't know. This is the only one I've ever had. So they
Well,
just
it's a
sent
big
it to
deal.
me. It's a big deal.
Bye.
Here's again packages I haven't opened. It's very loud.
What is it? What is it? What is it?
These are terrible knockoff Star Wars figures from China.
Let's see.
Opening them for the first time.
Captain
you still
Side,
here?
no.
Did you leave?
Toast?
I think Toast left. Here we go.
Well, I was just wondering about his cooking because if he takes to cooking, he does other things. I wonder how far he deviates. There's Yoda. Where are we going?
Yeah, check that expression out on Yoda's face right there.
He looks like he's farting. Like he's like, hold on.
Hold on. Gas would pass.
And then he's got the other hand pointed behind him.
Yeah, it's super terrible. There's a dude that's dressed like Ray. Yeah,
Oh, let me see. I know it's horrible. That one is the worst.
It's
Let me see it. Let me see
I
it.
want to
get it, but it's so bad.
What, you saw this bootleg Star Wars stuff?
I'm pretty sure I've seen the Ray that you're pulling out. I've looked up everything Ray, and it looks just like a dude. It's a dude.
It's
Oh.
basically if Lawrence of Arabia played Ray.
So bad. It's just so bad.
Actually, it looks like it sucks because it doesn't focus right. It gets too close and it doesn't. Let me see if I can change the focus. Hold on. This is worth
She come
seeing
with
here.
a gun? She should have come with a little gun.
Yeah, come on, focus. There you go. All that. Look at that. Look.
Oh,
It's cross-eyed.
Jake.
Hey, I don't have a boyfriend. It's certainly your business.
Seriously, guys. God, she's so creepy.
Yeah.
I
So
wonder how
about
many
these
she's
terrible bootleg Star Wars.
Oh, there's a question from underscore while you're looking at things. What is your ideal first date? You're getting interviewed.
Sex.
Hot sex? Is that what you said?
Any sex.
Well, okay.
We're not supposed to say that.
Well, no, I mean, it's,
honestly.
so
Honestly, I think anybody not saying boning
Sex?
down is lying to themselves.
okay.
I don't know. I haven't been on a date in so long. I haven't been
Poor
on.
guy.
I haven't
You
been
don't
on a
even
date.
know how to talk about a date.
I haven't been on a date.
You-
When
There's
did the
some
century
finesse
start?
that you're missing.
No, I haven't been on. I haven't been on a date. I haven't been on a date since
Why?
Star Citizen.
Why?
Busy?
Are you just so occupied?
busy? No, how do you think? How do you think I make these fat stacks? By the way, guys, these are fake.
Oh, you got us.
Yeah, I
Oh,
bought
yeah.
these from Amazon for $31. There's a stack of 5. It looks like da. It was for a skit we were gonna do on HCB that we never did.
That's pretty
So
good.
yeah,
I
it's fake. Yeah, it's fake. So
Guys,
I mean, not this
don't-
one. This one's real. So,
Don't go look for where he lives and try to break in because it's not going to be
yes,
worth
yes. Well, no. According to Amazon.com, these are worth $31.
it.
Just somebody stupid enough. Yeah, I told him. I'm like,
And you got it.
Toast. I just bought a thing. He goes, "What did you buy?" He goes, "I just bought like like $50,000 on Amazon.com. And he goes, how much did $50,000 cost you? $31. And it's Prime shipping, so it was free. So.
And you felt really good about that, didn't you?
Yep, and it's just sat here, so.
We need a Star Citizen dating website. What do you think about that?
No, I could get a date through Star Citizen easy. It'd just be with a dude.
Well, yeah, but for others out there, I mean, this is a pretty. Well, you're right. It'd probably be a lot of guy-and-guy connections. Scratch that idea. Let's bring that up down the road.
There's enough dating sites already, I think.
I'll toss that.
I'm a sexy bear.
But if you could just lead with Star Citizen, think about that. Like, I like Star Citizen, you like Star Citizen, and then you're off. Done.
This is just
Right?
literally all I've done is reach for the crap that's on my desk. This
I know you
is,
haven't even busted into the display cases, which
This is an original Burger King Return of the Jedi glass from 1983.
Don't crack it; they crack so easily.
Nope.
Oh.
This is my third set. There's
Okay.
There's two different sets in there, so I could just break glass.
Painful.
Bleed to death on stream. Yeah, so I've got that. What is this? Oh, this is a bootleg SNES controller.
What are you gonna do with that? What's the plan there?
I have for Super Nintendo, so I can play the Super Nintendo.
So do you have time to play Super Nintendo? When are you playing Super Nintendo?
Nope, I bought a Super Nintendo a couple months ago. I've never turned it on.
Okay.
Just you buy things in case you're gonna have time.
Just in case.
Yeah, it's like I can imagine a future where I will have time. There's some gas relief. That's empty. Yeah.
He's just bearing it all, guys.
It's just the crap that's on my desk. Look, I haven't gone anywhere else to look for stuff. This is just like I haven't cleaned off my desk.
I don't even think
So
it
long.
reached far behind you. I
Nope.
think it's just
Nope.
been right within
This is my light switch.
a light switch naturally.
That's
Oh, is that a battery operated? Awesome.
Oh.
Something.
My light switch.
Don't use that.
It doesn't show up too well, with the webcam and everything, but it's pretty nicely lit. If I do say so myself, there's some more drugs.
Drugs and more drugs. If we have at
UPS
Citizen
thing I never
Con a bus ticket, what was that?
Some UPS thing I never claimed.
A package you didn't get.
Oh, look at this.
You don't wonder what it is?
This is a Wing Commander Citizen card.
Oh,
Wing Commander Citizen card. Hold on, watch this. Watch it. These are all Wing Commander Citizen cards. Look at all these Wing Commander Citizen cards.